Hello there, and welcome to the Claire Codes channel. This is the first in a series of videos, of tutorials, and this is a series I'm titling Build Your Very First Website. And in this series, we will learn the building blocks of building your very first Hello World website. This will entail learning HTML, or hypertext markup language, and that is the makeup of the web page. It's built with tags. It uses some semantic or some words that we can pull from our own minds, such as a head, a body, tag, and we'll dive into this, so don't worry too much right now. This is an overview. So we're learning HTML. We will also learn CSS, which is the styling. And CSS stands for Cascading Styling Sheets. And we'll also learn a little bit of JavaScript. And we'll bring the JavaScript in with a library called Bootstrap. And this will be a great introduction to using libraries and how libraries can help enhance a website, your web page that you will be building along with me. And we'll learn some documentation, which as a developer, you read plenty of documentation out there. So again, we're gonna learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, libraries, Bootstrap, okay? That's what you're on board for, then let's get into it. What you will need for this course is you will need a computer, or I think an iPad could work as well. Ideally, you have your laptop or desktop, and it is a big enough monitor that you can watch what I'm doing. I will use screen recordings, and also that you can pause and do it yourself. I think something that is so important is getting the hands-on skills. It is one thing to watch someone do something and learn from that, but it's another thing to be hands-on doing it yourself. So part of this course is I really want you to get the experience, to get the fingers moving on that keyboard, I want you to sometimes make mistakes. I think that's really what this is about, and what we call working on mistakes, we call it debugging in the software engineering world. It's when you debug, you get rid of the bug in the code. Sometimes bugs can be as little as like misspelling a word. You spelled head without the D at the end. Hey, so it's really about taking that time to do it yourself, sometimes get it wrong, and figure out where you went wrong, and that's how you learn, okay? So I would love if you can code along with me, and that's how you will get the most out of this journey. So again, today we will start by building your first web page. We are going to make accounts on a site called Replit, replit.com, and I will show you that all on my beautiful computer. I also have here a model of a classroom that I built, not specifically for this video, but for my class. I had to make this diorama, and I just want you to envision yourself in my class, okay? So when you watch my videos, you're in my class. Hopefully you're seated, towards the front of the room. I would like to see your pretty face. And just working along with me, all right? We're a team. Please comment if anything is confusing in the comments below, and I will help you out. I will also, after each lecture, post a GitHub location to the exact code that we are working on. So you can always look it up, look in the below this video, and you'll see maybe something that will help you out. Yeah. So again, very excited to go on this journey with you as you build your very first website. Let's do this. Okay, I hope you're ready to dive right in. This is what we will learn today. An introduction to HTML. What is HTML? What are base tags? What is text hierarchy? What does it mean to nest tags and elements? And how can we incorporate all of this in, ding, 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 you got it, building your first web page? So first, let's get up and running. So I want you to go to replit.com and set up an account. I will now go to my Replit, which I have set up here. I set it up with my email. You can set it up however they let you, you'll be greeted with a page that looks like this, and it says create a new REPL, use a free account. That's all you need for this tutorial, and that is what I'm using as well. So with the free account, you get 3 free REPLs, and they are all public. So also note that this will be a public REPL. So what we're going to do is go into REPL, click choose a template, and then click HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JS. This should sound familiar from my intro. And then it'll give you a title. I might retitle mine, let's see, first vid. And again, it is public. And then click create REPL. And then it's going to welcome you to the workspace, words. It's going to tell you have an AI assistant. That's fine. We can ignore all that because we do not need this assistant. So actually you can just X that out. Okay. So see how on this left tab, there's open files. We can see that there's an index.html, a script.js, and a styles.css. And I'm actually going to plus this so that you can have a better view of what is going on. So this is my index.html. And we always call our first web page index.html. That is what your browser looks for. So you can name HTML documents. I can create a new file here and call it about.html. But the home page will always be, if I double click, it becomes active. The home page will always be your index. Okay? So now I'm going to jump around a little bit. Don't mind me. So then, great. You set up a Replit account. Hopefully you were able to follow my directions just now. Again, from the home, you can go to REPLs. You can click create. This is another way of doing it. And then you're creating it with the HTML, CSS, JavaScript template. Again, if I go into my REPLs, I can see first vid. And it should open up right away. Okay. Another great resource is w3schools.com, and I'll also put a link to this in the description down below. They have a great tutorial as well, but don't leave my tutorial just yet, because what's great about their tutorial is they let you try for itself. So if you want more practice after learning from this tutorial, please go to W3 Schools and try learning from their exercises. Okay, and then jumping back to my video. What is HTML? Again, we know it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a set of predefined elements or tags that tell a browser what to display and how to display it. And it's constructed by tags. So I'm going to show you a real-world example. This is the Grace Hopper Wikipedia page. I'm sure you've seen a Wikipedia page before. I'm going to right-click, and then I'm going to click all the way to the bottom and click Inspect. And then this popped up in my other window, so give me one moment. I'm going to bring it over here. This is what Elements, see the Elements tab? This is what this whole page is made of. It has doc type declared at the top. Let's see if I can, there we go. Doc type declared at the top, HTML tag, and then it has a head, and I can even close it here. I can close the body. So in the head tag, that's where we give the metadata, we give the title. As you can see at the top here, it says Grace Hopper Wikipedia. It uses the title tag. And tags have an opening tag, title, and a closing tag. Now, take a minute to pause. What do you think is different about the opening and the closing tags? And you can look, the script is also an opening tag and a closing tag. What is different? It's the same word, right? It says title here, it says title here, but here we have the slash. So we have less than sign, title, greater than sign. That's the opening tag. Less than sign, slash, title, greater than sign. And that is how we have to write our tags, okay? If you miss, a caret or less than sign, greater than sign, the computer will not know how to read it. It is very strict. Okay, I'm going to close the head again. Now I'm going to open the body. And the body is kind of the fun part of the page. The body is what contains what you see on the page. So I can jump over here, and I can use this arrow to actually select in. So I can select here, and I can see that that is a span tag, and it's in an H1. And don't worry, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves a little here. But what's really fun is if I go in here and I edit it, it also appears on the page. I don't know if you just noticed that happening. Again, if I refresh, it will go away. This is just little editing. But when we edit our websites, we'll be able to control everything, which is very exciting. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this. That was just a little demo. Let's go back to our Replit. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is take a look at this page. Okay, really take a look at this page. We have the doc type HTML declaration at the top. Then we have HTML here. And can you find HTML again on this page? I hope you found it. It is at the bottom. And actually, I can zoom in again one more time. So everything is the head, which I can close, and the body, which I can also close. I just tapped the arrow to close and open it. And it shows me that they're hidden lines. They're still there. I'm just closing the tag so you can see how nesting works. So how you define HTML is there's this line always goes at the top. Then we have HTML declaration. And everything is nested. The head and the body is nested within HTML. And then the head, don't worry too much about these meta. This is kind of, again, for the browser to read. It's just kind of what you put at the head, in the head. What is important is this title and this link tag. And the link is what's connecting, and we'll learn about this later on, to our CSS. Okay. So title, rename this. I'm going to name it Claire's First Website. And then, yeah. And then in the body, we're going to learn our first tag. So I want you to write this with me. Get rid of the hello world there. Or if you want, you can Command C or copy it, right click. And we're going to do our first heading tag. And heading tags go from H1, as you can see, all the way to H6 being the smallest header. So we're going to use H1, and then you're going to close it, and Replit will automatically close it for you once you put the greater than sign. And notice how it has the closing tag here too. And then you can paste back in hello world. And then I want you to click run, and you should see hello world really big there. And to demonstrate what other sizes look like, I want you to do H2, and it already knows. And then if it doesn't close it, please close it for yourself. Hello world. You know, I'll just keep writing hello world so we can see what different headings look like. H3. Oh, and see, it didn't close it there. So again, greater than sign, get it in there. And then click run again. Let me just dismiss that. And refresh. And there you go. And you should see our hello world. And as you can see, there is some padding, some space in between the different hello worlds. That is just implicit within the HTML. The styling of this H1 comes as this size, and it comes as this serif font. Serif is when it has different words. I'm blanking on it. A serif. And the sans serif is without serif, if that makes sense. And you can also click this browser, and it'll open in another, that arrow, and it'll open in another tab. So that's another way of looking at your site. Okay, great. So now we've learned about tags, and we've learned about their importance with HTML. I also want you to notice the nesting, right? This isn't at the same level as body. This is a tab in. And if I were to put a container around all my H1s, maybe this is the header. Ooh, not question mark. And then if I want to copy all of these or cut them out and paste them in, I would want them to come indented a tab. That's how we can differentiate what's going on. And then as you can see, it's already telling me, it's giving me some advice. It's telling me I can make a main tag here. And that's where I might put the main content of the web page, right? So we have header, we have our heading tags. We have the main tag. Oh, this is great. It already can show me. Then I can put a paragraph, P for paragraph tag. And then I could put maybe a footer. And then let's run that. And let's refresh. And there we go. You have hello world, hello words. And this is my first website. This is my footer. So I hope that was a great first step. I mean, think about it. If you've been following along, you just made your first website. This is the building blocks. Again, I'm going to open it, and you can see even up here, if you titled your website, it should say your first website at the top of this browser. And then I'm going to refresh this to get everything new. Again, right click to inspect, pull up this, and you should see all your work here. And now if I go into the body, and I go into, for example, the paragraph tag, as you can see, there's a user agent style sheet. So we're not using our CSS, our cascading style sheet. This is just what comes with the style. So it already has some styling, even though we haven't done anything yet, which is kind of exciting. Yeah, I think I'll do one last thing. Or no, I'll show you a few more tags, and then we can move on with our day. Let's do a link tag. This is my first website. And here, a link. So if I want to grab a link, right, I copy this from the browser. I would go back to my website. And I surround it with the tag. So see how it didn't, I want to put just the word link in the tag. So I have the opening A, and I have the closing A. It already did it for me. So be careful about what's going on. Always be vigilant too. And then what you're going to do is href. And then you see equals and the quotes. And you're going to paste your link in there. And then if you wanted to open in a new browser, you do target equals in quotes again, underscore blank. And again, Replit should help you out a little bit along the way. But let me make sure that that's bigger so you can see what happened. So the A tag, inside the A tag, I put attributes of href. An attribute is something that equals something. It has quotes. And then I also put the attribute of target. Equals quotes underscore, and inside the quotes underscore blank. So you can do the same thing with your link. And again, feel free to pause this video. I'm not going anywhere. You can always pause and come back. Let's refresh. And now when I click this link, there we go. It opens in a new, as you can see, it opened in a new window. Like if I refreshed here, it takes me to a new window. If I want to stay, if I wanted to override this window, I wouldn't use target equals blank. And then also in our main, let's put, we like lists, right? So there are two types of lists. There's an ordered list, and an ordered list and an unordered list get nested within itself list items. So item 1, another li, item 2. And let's look at what an ordered list looks like. Let's run that, refresh. And as you can see, 1, 2. And all I have to do to make it bullets is I change the OL to UL. And I have to do the same thing down here. They have to match up to be tags that work, functioning tags. And then you refresh. And as you can see now I have bullet points. And later we'll learn how to make a navigation using lists. And then possibly floating the items next to each other, depending on how you want your navigation to look like. We can start with a basic nav. So if I want to navigate, I just made this about HTML. I'm going to do exclamation point, and then, oops, exclamation point, and then click in on this. There you go, tab, and then you should get everything that you need, which is Again, the doc type, the HTML, the head, the body. We need that on every page, not just the index. Every HTML page we have. So this will be the about page. I hope you're still with me. Again, to create this, you go to File, and then you'd type in about.html, and then it would make this page. And then I did exclamation point, tab, tab, and it filled it with what I needed. And then let's do that. Run. Okay, but as you can see, we're still on the home page. So how do we get to the about page? Well, it's very similar to what we just did with this link here, right? When we link to the Grace Hopper page. What I'm going to do is above the header, I'm going to do a nav, and then I'm going to go UL, LI. So you can see this is ultra nesting. And then A, about. You need to always put something inside, otherwise you're linking nothing. And then I can do slash, and then it pulls right up everything that is within my repository or all the files. If I do the slash goes to the files, right? So I'm going to connect it to the about, and there we go. And let's run that, and let's preview it. So as you can see, I have it up here. If I click about page, I should go there. Of course, there's nothing on my about page, so we're not seeing anything. Let's do an H1. About me. Let's refresh. There we go. And if we want to link back, what I would do is I'd grab this whole nav, right? Paste it in. Instead of about page, we want to go to slash index.html. We'll call it the home page. So we'll run that. So now we can go home page, about page, home page, about page. And we already have the start of a 2-page website. So this is coming along swimmingly. Please let me know if this went too fast, if there's more you would like to be explained. So far, if you followed along, we've learned how to do many different tags, how tags nest, how they open and close, how we can open and close them, how the tags that we see on the page all live within the body tag, how the title and our link to our style sheet and some meta tags live in the head tag, and how this all is within the HTML tag declared at the top by a doc type. All right, I hope you followed along. Again, I'll link to this replit, the first vid, and I'll also try to put some code on my GitHub. GitHub is a great place to source to add code repositories, and yeah, we'll go over GitHub in a future lesson. But I think this is a good place to start, and thank you for following along. Cheers.